Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be part of the seventh edition of the Adaptation Conference 2023. It's a great pleasure to be a part of this. My name is Mark Atamensa, and I'm presenter of this um, paper. My co-authors are Ms. Dorin Latte and Professor Chris Gordon. And today we present on the conceptual framework that would enhance resilience to climate change in Ghana's agriculture and the food sector through improved climate information accessibility. Once again, I welcome everyone and thank you for joining this presentation. Today, we'll explore how we can enhance resilience in climate change in Ghana's agriculture and food sector through improved climate information accessibility. Climate change actually poses substantial risks to agriculture and food security, most acutely felt in developing countries, and Ghana is not left out in this. However, we do contribute, minimally to global greenhouse gas emissions, and that alone makes Ghana vulnerable to climate change adverse effects. We can talk of increasing temperatures, changing rainfall patterns, and extreme weather events. Typically, the rainy season should have been in July, but as at the time of this recording in October, we've had series of rainfalls, which is quite unusual. So clearly, climate change is significantly, threatening our agriculture and, of course, food security in the process. And Ghana is not left out. And that is what I want to highlight on. And it's jeopardizing our agricultural sector, which is the main backbone of Ghana's economy and a critical component of our national food security. A significant barrier to overcoming these challenges, quite frankly, as we have identified, is lack of accessible, timely, and relevant climate information. For key stakeholders, we can talk about farmers, policymakers, researchers, and the like. There have been past efforts that suggest that a tailored approach, co-produced through participatory methods involving diverse stakeholders, can lead to more effective climate adaptation strategy. There's been emerging research that has also shown that artificial intelligence, particularly large language models, can actually complement human expertise, by filling the information gaps with timely and localized climate predictions. Although nascent to Ghana, AI actually holds promise for significant enhancement in the climate resilience and adaptation strategy. So, what we try to achieve with this framework paper, is to bridge the climate information gap by identifying the stakeholders, their specific needs, and then leveraging AI technologies for actionable strategies. So we endeavor to fortify the agricultural resilience and then contribute to sustainable food security in Ghana, leveraging an integrated approach. So we will blend the stakeholder engagement with technological innovations. And by doing so, we hope to provide valuable insights that will inform policy development, resource allocation, and adaptation strategies, ultimately contributing to a more climate resilient Ghana. So, in hammering on our approach, we 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 leverage a multi-stage approach, basically. Um, and so, what we sought to achieve with this multi-stage approach is to be able to address, our research questions and objectives with strong emphasis on stakeholder engagement and participatory methods, as well as incorporating artificial intelligence models for data analysis. This is very essential to us. So if we look at the diagram we have over there, okay, we have the stakeholder identification and recruitment. So we identify the agricultural stakeholders. We can talk of the extension farmers, the extension officers, the farmers, the policymakers. We assemble all of these people in one room under one event. So we organize basically a workshop, and then these stakeholders are engaged in an interaction. Now, prior to their convergence, we compile a series of questions um, in relation to climate change information, leveraging large language models, specifically the ChatGPT. So these questions are presented to the participants at the workshop in the participatory engagement, and then they review these questions and then provide their expert answers to these questions. And I'll be a bit more elaborate on the on this method that we put across by way of a preliminary progress we have made in this particular research. Now, what did AI do in this project? We basically used advanced AI technologies, and like I said, the large language model, in this case, ChatGPT. So we conducted an experimental study to explore the utility of artificial intelligence, specifically the ChatGPT, and how it would address climate related queries, relevant to Ghana's agriculture. So we skewed it towards Ghana. And of course, as far as that is concerned, the food sector. So we compare the responses generated by ChatGPT to those that we obtained from the local experts, you know, who came from diverse sectors, forestry, academia, and energy. Pretty much, um, if we are to put these persons under broad headings, this will be their identities. So we did have the queries, compiled them. We got the responses from ChatGPT. However, we presented these same queries to the experts so that we compare the results that emerged out of the review. So we had a compilation of 93 climate related questions, and all of this focused on Ghana, and that's what we prepared. So we formed these panel, comprising 46 local experts with varied levels of self-assessed knowledge about climate change. And these experts, we divided them into four groups, and then we tasked them to write concise answers for the set of questions we had, compiled under the broad spectrum of climate information needs as far as Ghana is concerned. Subsequently, we have other sets of groups that assess the quality of the answers on a scale of low, medium, and high. We have the figures as we can see from the diagram, the 40, the 50, and then the 4 right above there. Simultaneously, the answers that were generated by ChatGPT were also evaluated. And interestingly, ChatGPT is on the left, and then we have the human experts on the right. And interestingly, ChatGPT scored 99% in almost all the questions, with just one marked as medium, basically. However, the reason for this preference over human experts is actually yet to be fully understood, and that we must state clearly. We actually, from my expert opinion as the technical person on the team, we suspect the stylistic elements or narrative structures possibly influenced by the reinforcement learning for human algorithms that we are leveraging. We believe that might have accounted for this um, situation. So basically, our research identifies both the promise and limitations of AI in providing high quality and yet locally tailored climate information. Now, one possible limitation of our study is the constraint setting in which human experts operated. And this leads to questions about how ChatGPT responses compare to the detailed, unrestricted expert responses. For instance, when ChatGPT was asked about the effects of climate change on agriculture in Ghana, its well framed answer was not as specific to Ghana as compared to what we obtained from the expert's written answer. Moreover, ChatGPT itself recognized the expert answer as superior for its depth and relevance. So these were some of the constraints we observed and we are trying to highlight at the moment. Now, while ChatGPT shows promise in generating answers in time-sensitive environment, it also acknowledges the value of more specific and in-depth expert knowledge. So our findings actually point to the need for further research for to understand the context in which AI can be most useful for enhancing climate information accessibility, particularly in sectors as crucial as agriculture in Ghana. So basically, we could say that our study has significant implications for policy formulation, resource allocation, and then the adoption of effective climate adaptation strategies. This is very important. So, by actually integrating input with advanced technology, we basically aim to bolster agricultural resilience and sustainable food security in Ghana. So, our research is aimed to address these critical gaps in climate information accessibility and thereby directly affecting Ghana's agricultural resilience and sustainable food security. We believe that utilizing this participatory approach and AI analysis, the study will provide insight that could significantly influence policy and resource allocation. We've already highlighted the influence of ChatGPT in this research. Though it generalized the answers to climate related queries, emphasizing on the continuous relevance of human expertise for nuanced understanding, it still emphasizes the fact that experts will remain expert. A ChatGPT or a bot will remain what it is. So, in essence, our study is advocating for dedication, dedication of more resources to climate specific content in local languages, and this will enhance the utility of AI for communities most vulnerable to climate change. And through this holistic approach that integrates stakeholder input and advanced AI, our research holds the promise for not only strengthening agricultural resilience, but it also for securing sustainable food systems. So, in summary, our work highlights the vital role of accessible, relevant climate information in enhancing both agricultural resilience and food security in Ghana. Thank you for your attention. And if there are any comments or questions, we look forward to having them. Thank you.